In this video, I'm going to give you guys all the tips and tricks on how to keep shrimp and how to breed them in the aquarium hobby. I'm going to go in depth on breeding, feeding, taking care of them, everything in this video. And this is with the Neocaridina and the Caridina species. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video to listen to all the advice I'm going to give you. Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to KeepingFishSimple. So in today's video, I'm going to obviously give you a bunch of information and a bunch of tips and tricks on how to take care of and breed shrimp in the aquarium hobby. So I'm going to go in depth on Caridina and the Neocaridina species, the differences, some tips, some things I've learned over the past 6 years of keeping shrimp, and I hope this video is really informative and really useful for you guys. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already seen some of my content, I make lots of aquarium related information videos as well as some little entertaining ones, so please consider subscribing. And also I'd really appreciate if you guys checked out all the links down below. I've got my Facebook, my Instagram and my Facebook group down there, and feel free to go and join them, and also check out the website down below. That'd mean a lot to me. Without any further ado, let's get started on the video. So the first thing I'm going to mention is finding a shrimp and a species that's good for the water in your area. It's really important that you don't go against the conditions of your area and try and change the pH or anything, or the conditions of your water, because there's no point. It's really difficult, and you're just going to always run into problems. It can be very expensive, so it's really important that you find a shrimp or a species of shrimp that are built for the area and the conditions of your water. So if you have a shrimp that's really good in the hard kind of conditions of water, make sure that your water is built for that kind of shrimp. That's really important, and that's the first thing I'm going to give you guys. And before I give you guys any more advice, I know you're all going to ask the question, can I keep Caridina and Neocaridina species together? And the answer is yes. It's a bit difficult, but the short answer is yes. I was just going to point that out before we start talking about them anymore. You can. So your Neocaridina species are your red cherry shrimp, your willy shrimp. Those are your Neocaridinas, and Neocaridinas are by far the most hardy species of shrimp in the aquarium hobby. They're definitely the easiest to take care of, and they take the widest range of water conditions. It's important to note that Neocaridina species prefer hard kind of water, so they like a pH of about 7 to 8.6 is the max for their pH. They like very hard water conditions, and they're definitely easy to take care of. Now the Caridina species on the other hand are a little bit more sensitive and frail, and they're definitely more tricky to take care of, but nonetheless you can definitely have success with Caridina species in the hobby. Now they like softer conditions of water, so they like conditions of about 6 to 7 pH. Would definitely not go over 7. They love soft water, and both kinds of shrimp like a very nice tropical temperature of about 72 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and about 22 to 26 degrees Celsius is perfect for them. Now on the note of pH and testing the water in your aquarium, I want to mention something that's really changed the way I'm enjoying the hobby at the moment, and that's using this product. I used to use a lot of those drip test kits and the little bars and whatever, and they were super good. They worked, but they weren't as good as this thing here. Now what I have here is a digital pH meter. These are available in my store down below. I'm going to link all the things that you need to keep a successful shrimp aquarium down below. But this product is absolutely awesome. It's completely changed the way I'm enjoying the hobby at the moment. It's super cheap. These go for about 25 bucks, and you only have to use one. So they're ran by battery. You shut them in the aquarium, turn it on, and it'll literally give you a pH reading. You don't have to get any of that nasty drip stuff out. It's super easy. I definitely recommend getting that. Now there's different kinds of shrimp too. There's also tiger shrimp, and I haven't had much experience with these shrimp at all. I know for a fact that they like conditions of about in the middle of the two species, so you can sometimes see all three of them being housed together in a community. So with both kinds of species of shrimp, the setup's very important in determining the success that you're going to have with the species. In my opinion, a 10-gallon tank is perfect for housing any kind of shrimp. I keep mine in 10 gallons. Mine's quite tall. I know that I'd have a lot more success with breeding my shrimp if I had a longer bottom aquarium like this one here. It's important that you don't go tall, because they won't be able to go along the ground and do their thing. It's important that you have a large surface area down on the bottom of the aquarium, and that means that they can breed and they'll have a lot more success, because they prefer long aquariums. They don't go up and down like angelfish do. They like to stay down the bottom. So a 10-gallon tank is good with a big surface area. Don't go up, go wide if you're going to buy an aquarium, that's the size you want. Now for substrate in the aquarium, you can go with sand, gravel, bare bottom, it doesn't really matter. It's important to note that the substrate has a massive impact on the color of the shrimp in your aquarium. So for example, if you want a higher amount of blue in your blue really shrimp or whatever it is, it's important that you have a substrate that's white. But if you've got reds, you've got yellows, you've got oranges, they go really, really good with a dark substrate like gravel. I keep my reds with a white substrate, and that's because I like the color of the white substrate. I'm not looking for color in my shrimp, but I know for a fact that if I put them in an aquarium like the one I have down here with a dark substrate, they would look a whole lot better. An important note is that I'd avoid going with a bare bottom tank because the shrimp seem to have a weird, they can't grab the bottom too well because of the glass, but they can still be kept in there. I know a lot of people do that, but I definitely don't do that. That's not what I do. Now, when you're keeping Caridina species in an aquarium, the setup's a little bit different. It's important that you get a substrate that is commercial made to keep the pH low. I don't work with Caridina at the moment, so I can't give you the names of the soils that you use, but it's important that you use these soils because they keep the pH low and keep the conditions right for the Caridina species. Crystal red shrimp love an acidic substrate, and it's really important that you have this kind of bottom in the aquarium. One thing that I will note before you go and get any of these is that you will have to change the substrate once every 12 months because the substrate seems to like run out and go all weird after about 12 months. So you have to actually reset the aquarium every 12 months. It's a bit annoying, but shrimp only have a lifetime of about a year. Alright, so shrimp love plants in the aquarium, especially mosses. So in all my aquariums I have Java moss, but especially in the shrimp aquarium I have a massive ball of Java moss in the back corner, and they absolutely love it because the Java moss provides lots of little microbacteria and nutrients to keep the babies fed and places for the babies to hide from big fish in the aquarium if you've got them in the community aquarium, and it's super useful. One thing I've noticed about moss is sometimes when you're aquascaping or you're trying to make a beautiful display, the moss can go out of hand, and that's why I've been using these brand new moss balls that I've been getting. You'll see a video of the shrimp on the moss balls now, but yeah, they're super useful. They're available in the store too. They're super good for controlling where the moss grows in the aquarium. It's also important to know that you don't have to just keep moss. You can keep pretty much every single plant, but I've had the most success with moss. Alright, so on the topic of filtration, it's important to note that sponge filters are by far your best friend when you have a shrimp aquarium. These are super useful. These are like, if I was going to set up an aquarium right now, I would only think about using a sponge filter. These are available down below. But the reason I'd only use a sponge filter is because they're ran by an air pump and a single air pump, so there's no massive mess behind the aquarium. So it's one cord and it's ran by an airline tubing in here. I've got them all in my aquariums and they're super easy to clean. You can take them out. But the most important thing is that they don't suck up fry. Now these do a great job keeping the aquarium water clean, grow heaps of bacteria in there. These are your friend when you are keeping shrimp and little nano species. So definitely recommend getting one of these. If you've already set up an aquarium though, and you don't have a sponge filter, but you have an intake for like say a hang on the back filter, then you'll need one of these. These are also available down below. These are intake covers, and these are really good for keeping, they stop little shrimp getting sucked up by the filter, and there's no way you're going to be able to keep shrimp without having one of these in the aquarium. So don't make the mistake I did. I used to have shrimp in my other aquarium. They all got sucked up by my intake filter. So you'll need one of these to cover that up, or you can use like a stocking or something, but this looks really neat. So on the topic of tank mates for the Caridina or the Neocaridina, it's important to note that you get tank mates that are compatible with the water conditions of your shrimp. And it's also important to note that you get species that are pretty small and won't be able to fit the shrimp inside their mouth, and also species that are very peaceful and good in a community aquarium. So I'd recommend things like Enver guppies or tetras. They go really, really well together. Also, water change is super easy, 25% a week, that's it. That's all you have to do. If you want to keep feeding them heaps, I'd do more, but 25% a week minimum, you'll be sweet. And the final thing I'm going to discuss is foods. They're not fussy at all. Feed them a wide variety of live and packeted foods. I give mine they get tropical fish flakes from the fish that fall down. I've got a fluval granule that I've been using, and I'll also use a couple algae wafers, and they go really well together. They love eating the algae wafers. So on another note, that wraps up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you guys have a lot of success with the aquariums in the future, and I hope that I've inspired you to go and set up something maybe this weekend or in a couple months time. So thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.